We have Emad Adnan. Emad Adnan is currently acting as a marketing manager in PharmaLink with an extensive exposure and successful strategic planning and implementation for diversified projects locally and internationally. He has diversified experiences and competencies like strategic portfolio management, budgeting and profitability, brand management, people management, project management, and commercial opportunity assessment. He has been involved with leading pharmaceutical companies in GCC and has the same sense of social responsibilities through contributing to several volunteering projects with international nonprofit organizations. And on an academic level, he attained a Bachelor's of Science in Pharmacy, postgraduate diploma in Sales and Marketing, and master's degree in Corporate and Marketing Communications. Welcome, Imad.
Hi,
How are you
hello.
today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Thank
Thank you
you. My
so much for
pleasure.
joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure to be a part of this successful conference.
Wonderful. Thank you. The floor
Thank you.
is yours.
Thank you. Just a share. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, it's my great pleasure to be part of PharmaCC conference. My presentation, I hope it will match your expectation, and I can say it's only targeting the fresh graduates for whom also they graduated and they started their career. They can also think again about their career. Through my presentation, I'm going to through the presentation, the agenda of the presentation, I'm going to discuss the postgraduate planning and what we should do after graduation, how to plan properly for beyond graduation, if you are not graduated or you are just graduated. And even if you took a path in your career, what you should do, how to go and check your objectives, whether you are on the right path or not. Pharmaceutical field scope within GCC market, and particularly I'm focusing on pharmaceutical companies. I didn't maybe discuss the community pharmacies. CV writing skills are provided with some simple brief tips about writing skills of the CV and what is the expectations of the companies out of your CV and the interviewer as well, what he's looking for in your CV. Then what is the skills and the capabilities you should be equipped with to explore to pharmaceutical companies in GCC market. And finally, the interviewer expectation and tips about the interview before, during, and after the interview. Okay. So, postgraduate, let's say we graduate from university, we all go through this in our span of life, through this stage in our life. Some of us, we were kind of having uncertainty about what is the next level or what's the next stage, what we should do. The first thing I do recommend for everyone, always before you start thinking even about the career, have a notebook, have whatever, notepad, notebook, whatsoever, and have special agenda to write down your objective. Okay, objective, all of us having an objective, personal or career objective, and some of them short-term and some of them long-term objectives. Your objective should be built based on your capabilities, your personality, your area of strength, and your area of improvement. Okay, and where you find your passion more. Okay, but what is the criteria you should take in consideration while building the SMART objective, or your objective between brackets SMART? What we mean by SMART? The abbreviation is SMART. SMART stands for S, specific; M, measurable; A, ambitious; R, realistic; T, time bounded. Sorry. Okay, so this is a smart objective. So what do you mean by specific? When I set an objective that I'm looking to work, for example, if I'm fresh graduate, I'm looking to work in or to attain certain knowledge that I want to work on certain area of improvement like presentation skills or selling skills. So I should write it down with a clear objective that I want to attain this skill, like the presentation skills, communication, or whatsoever the skills you want to obtain within certain limit time, within and should be ambitious and should be realistic. Like you can't say like within 2 days I will have a perfect presentation skills. You should also write down what is the factor and what you should do to improve those skills. Write down your area of strength so you can work on them, and you can also plan ahead based on that area of strength. And you write down also your area of improvement. And we'll talk about later how to work on the area of improvement in brief. Networking, write down have your mobile in your hand and write down all of your contact you have in your network through social media or through your mobile contact. Write them down on your notebook or your iPad and try to get in touch with those people. Okay, this is very important factor. It's not enough to just send your CV or you to communicate through the email and send the CV via email only. You should get in touch with your network to know and to be up to date about what the vacancies and what's going on in the market as well. Follow up your passion. Don't be a generic or copying others. Okay, be yourself. And the previous speaker also she have highlighted this point about following the passion and be yourself, because I know many people whom they follow others' passion and they were generic by just copying others' passions and others' dreams, and they end up after a couple of years they lost the passion and they found themselves that they are in the wrong path. If you do so, it's never late. You can go one step back, then rearrange your papers, I can say, and then plan ahead again and never being late. And you can again start or take the path where you find your passion, and then you will be successful. Target the opportunities by searching into, as a fresh graduate, search through all channels or possible channels for the opportunities or opening in pharmaceutical companies. Okay, and try to get in touch with them through sending emails and sending the CVs and through connecting with the employee within these companies if you have a connection there as well. Follow up on your application, or if you got any inquiry or contact, to make sure that your CV had been forwarded or reached to the target person. And as well, the follow-up not only on sending CV, on follow-up process as well on your objectives, and it should be a continuous process as well. Okay, next. Now we'll talk in brief about pharmaceutical companies. Many fresh graduates, they have perception that if you are working in pharmaceutical companies, you have only the scope of working in sales and or marketing. Okay, however, there are some other scopes to work within pharmaceutical companies, and I do strongly recommend that to start with sales, even if I can say you don't have the experience, because starting with sales, it will provide you with a great exposure to different dynamics in the market, and that's why I put sales in the chart in the next slide. Okay, next. In the next slide, I put sales in the core. Okay, so out of the sales, you'll be having more exposure to market dynamic, more deep understanding to I can say the consumer behavior, healthcare providers need, hospitals and healthcare segments as well. Okay, So out of sales, you can then work within marketing. Marketing, basically, I can say brief, they are the brain and they're the department whom they are, they set strategies and planning for the business units or for the sales as well. Medical affairs, they work side by side with marketing and sales in order to support or to provide the medical support for the company. Training and development, there are the arm whom they keep the development, coaching, and also the sense of developing the people with up-to-date programs related to medical knowledge or skills as well. And finally, regulatory affairs, and I think the previous speakers, they spoke about the regulatory affairs. We can say, actually in this diagram here, I put it in very brief and summarized for fresh graduate, but under each department, there are so many I can say, subdivisions for each department. Like regulatory affairs, they have the pharmacovigilance, they have something, department specialized with follow-up with government and health authorities and so on. Okay. Now, moving to the next part and the important part about writing the CV. Okay. Many people, first of all, they didn't be themselves in the CV. And we saw this obviously in many interviews. They wrote down many skills or many competencies and capabilities where they didn't have it. Okay, be yourself in the CV. If you are fresh graduate, it's fine, no problem. You write it down on a paper, write whatever you have capabilities. Even small projects, you may not find it attractive for you, but maybe for other companies or for recruiter, he find it attractive. At the same time, I'm not saying you should exaggerate in your CV, but be yourself. Write down whatever you did in bullet points. Make it simple to read and simplified. Be away from a lot of designs, because you are working in pharmaceutical. You are not like engineering or designers or whatsoever. At the same time, you can consider to be in a good design, but over designing and over usage of arts or artworks, it won't be of an it may sometimes not of added value, and will dilute the focus of the interviewer from the major content of the CV. Okay, so first, your CV should demonstrate your unique blend of skills and experience. Okay, so don't copy paste. Don't. It's okay to get exposure to know the templates of other CVs from recruiters, to learn how to write it through soft courses and from internet. However, be yourself and write down whatever skills you possess only. Keep it simple, as I mentioned. Your choice of font, layout, etc., to make sure the employer or employer carries on reading your CV. Okay. Don't be generic again, and I'm repeating it, and I'm focusing this point. Don't copy others. Don't copy others. Please be yourself and try to follow your passion again. Check again. The update process is continuous. Even whenever you do a simple project, a simple course, whatever training, you should add it and update it to your CV along with letterhead. Should be up to date with the dates. And if you acquire certain skills or capabilities, then you should add it as well. Okay, next. So what sort of skills, capabilities we need to be equipped with? Being working in a pharmaceutical field, there are certain skills and capabilities the employer is expecting you to have it, like to be a team player. Okay, working in pharmaceutical company, for someone who has, like I can say, passive personality, you won't be succeed unless you have the team spirit and to be a team player. It's very important to be a part of a team and to have the sense of working with or be a part of a team. High communication skills, regardless of the department. Also, the communication skills is very important. Presentation skills. Presentation skills. This is, I can say, a daily activity or daily part of our work to have the presentation or to do presentations of different levels. So designing from designing the presentation, from doing things from scratch, and by knowing the target audience of your presentation, to whom you are presenting, and based on that you plan the presentation. Analytical skills. If you are, you should be adapting this type of skills by, and it is impacted by the personality as well. But analytical skills to go through details and to read beyond whatever written in reports, and to be able to translate it to charts, figures, or whatsoever. Okay. Business and market knowledge. This is acquired also by experience, and even for fresh graduate. Meanwhile, you can understand, you can read more about the market, the medical and the healthcare sector market, and to know more about this market. Ability to handle multitask at the same time. So this is very, very important to be able to handle multitask. This is endless, can say, work style, because the job of starting of sales or junior medical representative or junior regulatory affairs officer, or whatsoever the position you will start with, you will have a lot of tasks to do at the same time, and many tasks. So you should have kind of combination between a proper time management and handling or multitask handling as well. And finally, work under pressure. Work under pressure with what I mean under pressure, because I don't want anyone to perceive it the other way. Under pressure, which means you will be having a lot of deadlines or some projects which pop up at the same time, since we are working in a dynamic market. So you should have the sense and the urgency to act accordingly. So this type of internal or external deadlines or pressure you should be a kind of person to be able to handle it. If not, you should adapt to do so as well. Okay. So you should ask yourself two questions. The first one: what are your area of strength and your area of improvement? I encourage each one of you right now, to write down on a paper the your area of strength and your area of improvement. This exercise, we call it, this in very simple daily activity or daily life, day-to-day life, we should do it, the self-assessment. You should ask yourself what I'm good at and what I need to improve. Okay. I encourage each one to remove from your mind the word, because many people, they use the word weakness. It's not weakness, it's area of improvement, because all of us, we keep improving. And the moment you stop improving and you said you are saying to yourself that I am perfect, I'm fine, then certainly you will never learn anything else. Okay. So right now, write down at least top 3 strengths you have it, and top 3 area of improvement. Or at least if you start with 1 area of improvement, it's fine. For those areas of strength, okay, if you are a fresh graduate, for example, or you are a graduate already from pharmacy college, those strengths, how you can utilize them and how you can make them work on improving them, or to use them in your career, and what career it match those area of strength. So I repeat what I have mentioned now in this slide regarding the self-assessment process. You should ask yourself from while to while, I can say, what is your area of strength and what is your area of improvement. And I like to use the word improvement, not weakness point, as many people they used to do so. Okay, because the improvement process is continuous process, and we keep improving through our life. Okay, The moment that you stop or you have you stop working on the improving yourself or searching for area of improvement, then you should know certainly that you are not learning anything. Okay. So now, right now, I'm encouraging you to write down on a small paper or in your notebook, what is the top 3 area of strength you have it, and what is the top area of improvement. You can pick 2 area of improvement, and I encourage you to start with one by one. Okay, then you can set a time frame, and we can learn it or connect it with a SMART objective, which I have mentioned in the beginning, to link the area of improvement with a time frame to improve it, and what factors you should do to improve those points or area of improvement. Like, for example, if you want to improve again the presentation skills, then you should do a lot and plenty of skills. You can do a lot of role play in front of mirror, okay, in order to improve it as well. Taking some courses as well. So it's up to you. One of the previous speakers, she mentioned as well that to have mentor also, he can support you, to guide you about the proper way. One of your seniors, he can guide you about the proper way to go through those and what to do in order to improve your area of improvement, or to overcome them. What shall you do to overcome the area of improvement? So simply you can decide based on your situation, based on your mentor as well, your manager, someone could be from your sector who is close to you, who can support you and help you. The self-assessment process should be a continuous process. You should not stop doing this. I can say like every 2 weeks once, okay, and then you can evaluate yourself, where I want to go, okay, and what is next. Did I improve, okay, and did I for the percentage of improvement, how much was the percentage of improvement, and then to go further forward. Okay, next. Okay, so reaching to the interview. Okay, before going to the interview, let's say you received a call from a pharmaceutical company asking you for an interview. So before the interview, you should be certain and should search for data to know more about the recruiter. For example, X company called you. You should know more about the company, history of the company, product, activities, their values, what they are doing. So the main shareholders and stakeholders in this company. So you will be more aware about the company and have a strong feedback, and so the interview will be more smooth. And moreover, you will provide a positive impression for the interviewer or recruiter, that you are kind of person keen about your job, keen about this job, and you are doing your homework through making the ABCs, which is the search. Then make sure about the interview venue, the interviewer himself details, who is going to interview. Is it going to be the HR, or he's a sales manager? So you can make your mindset before going to the interview. Formal dress code is very important, so you should make sure to have the proper conservative formal dress code, and make sure to reach not earlier than 15 minutes to be in the company and with the receptionist, for example, and the interviewer to be informed that you are available for the interview, okay, whether it is physical or it is virtual. Okay, next. So choosing the proper dress code. So whatever the dress code you would like to choose, here, just again to recap, that formal dress code will be suitable. You choose whatever is suitable to your culture, suitable to the workplace, but in general, again, should be something conservative and something to match the workplace. Next. During the interview, be positive and keep smiling, okay, but not to fake it. Keep it very simple and spontaneous. How you being positive? Being positive during the interview, through even the interviewer, he can, those people, they are the interviewer or the recruiter, they are like skillful enough to know you are a kind of positive person or negative person through your attitude, through your answer, through your action, through asking you certain questions of situations, life situations from your previous work, and how to handle it, and how did you handle certain situation from your previous work. Give attention to your body language. For example, the eye contact. Don't look here and there while you are doing the interview. Try to keep an eye contact with the interviewer, and avoid distracting habit like chewing gum, playing with your keys in your pocket or flating inside your bag, your mobile on silent mode and inside your pocket or bag or whatever. So try not to have any kind of distracting habit. Your seat should be firm and set properly, and to be like good sitting and comfortable as well, because some people, they sit in the edge of the seat, and where they won't be comfortable while making the interview. Be realistic in your answer. Be structured in your answer. So how to be realistic in your answer when you are talking about your accomplishment? Some people, they always, whenever, for example, they are doing project, they keep saying I. So providing an answer by having or talking about yourself only, while that X project, for example, had been done with a team of members, it will give an impression for the interviewer that it's not kind of realistic, and you have certain type of behavior where you are kind of one-man show or whatsoever. Okay, so try be realistic. If you did something by your own, it was an individual project, then mention that you did it alone. If it was a group project, mention that your role exactly among the team members, and what was your contribution to those team members. How to be structured in your answers. Start simply to explain the ideas of the question, and go direct to the point. Provide brief details. Don't be too much detailed, and try to avoid being too much detailed and too much brief. So it should be in the medium. Provide example for each point. If you mention that you are kind of you have the team spirit, you should provide example of team spirit. For example, you are kind of problem solver, or you have, for example, high negotiation skills. You should mention, or it's preferably to mention an example of a situation where you were able to negotiate a deal or negotiate something to drive result, or to get the result out of this negotiation. I mean, a positive result. Okay, next. So after the interview, you should follow up and seek feedback from the interviewer. Give the interviewer 1 day, okay, 1 day or 2 days, and then seek for a feedback about it. You can ask for feedback within the interview itself, not about asking the opinion of the interviewer, but you can ask him about the next step, the opportunities they have it in the company, opportunities of development and improvement, and what scope of or future you may have in this company if you get selected. Okay, then after that, a part of the follow-up process, track recruitment progress, and know where you. Okay, I think I reached to the end of the presentation about the interviewer expectation, and following the presentation, what we shall do, simply to have the follow-up and seeking feedback, and tracking as well the recruitment progress and the process. Okay. If anybody from the audience would like to seek any support or regarding the recruitment or what to do to improving or working on the smart objectives, they can get in touch with me through my LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
It will be my great pleasure. I wish all the best for everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us,
you.
Emad. We've
you.
got a couple of questions here for you.
Yes.
And let me just start with the first one. Some people say that lying in the CV has no consequences. In fact, they find it beneficial as it helps them get interviews that will better opportunities to land a job. What are your thoughts about lying in a CV?
Okay, well, as I mentioned, the interviewer or recruiter, those usually they are skillful enough to know whether you are yourself or you are exaggerating or you are lying in the CV. So again, don't copy paste from internet or from here and there. You can learn from others how to write the CV, what language to be used. Try to choose the formal terms, professional terms as well. But be yourself. Right? The recruiters usually they respect and they will choosing the people with a simple CV, the people whom they are realistic in their CV.
Okay. Yeah. From your own personal experience, what factors do you think has contributed the most to your success?
Success of, again, you can repeat the question.
From your own personal experience, what factors do you think contributed the most to your success in your career?
Okay, well, again, I was also like everyone, freshly graduate, so getting feedback from others, to have a mentor, to learn from the seniors, but again to build your own, be yourself first of all, and build your own objectives or smart objective by yourself.
You're back. Thank you. Could you please answer just one more question?
Yeah, it's okay, no problem.
Okay, sometimes love and passion are not enough to drive you in the career. How do you develop resilience or a persistent behavior in order to be successful?
Okay, I know the passion is not only enough to proceed in your passion or in your career path, but you should work again on your skills, capabilities, seek opportunities. This is all important. Those all factors very important. It's okay for fresh graduate. You can compromise to have as the first job as internship, to work as internship to gain experience. And in my current company, a lot of people, a lot of employees whom they started as internship, and when they get in touch, when he or she, those interns, they get in touch with the company, and the company saw how they are good, and the capabilities, the behavior and attitude, the positive behavior and attitude they have it. They got recruited. So skills part is important. Behavior and attitude part is very important. Usually, you asked me before this question about the culture we have it in our company or my current company. In my current company, PharmaLink, we are actually have a multicultural environment, and with an equal opportunity for development for all employees. Okay, the multicultural environment, exactly, and the equal opportunities for everyone whom they work or keen to work on their skills to develop as well and to deliver as well. Usually they have it, and I saw it actually. I'm seeing this organization is a fast moving and fast progressing company comparing with many companies in the market. We are now almost 800 plus employees. We have the retail pharmacies. Yeah, so it's become like a huge organization.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much, Emad. It was wonderful having you here, and you wrapped up a lot of the things that were spoken about throughout this conference. So thank you so much for joining us, and please have a lovely day. Thank you so much.
You too, and wish you all the best for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.